Okay, quite a number of hikers up here today. So I made it up to the Holy Gully. There are several of these benches up here, which are kind of nice. And the Holy Gully goes right down through there. So it didn't take me too long. Just a brief intermission, allowing some people to pass through. And we're going this way. I said in another video that I think I could get through Pennsylvania's portion of the AT, which many people call Rocksylvania, because I have been practicing on quite a bit of rocks here in Arizona. So, we'll see. And sometimes I go around this, sometimes I go up and over. The first time that I came and did this trail, I was only a couple of weeks out from my knee surgery. And I think I only did about 1.5 miles. I think it took me over 2 hours. Very interesting rock formations around here. It's one of humans' ways of thinking about recognizing faces. We pretty much see faces in rocks, and that one, to me, looks like maybe a big hamster or something. Anyway, the first time I did this, I think it took me about 2 hours to do 1.5 miles. I did not have hiking sticks. I did not have hiking boots. And I did see a lady wearing some Merrell boots. And I asked her about them and how she liked them. And I ended up getting Merrell boots. Now the ones that I'm wearing today are my second pair. First ones were not really worn out, but I went to a little bit larger of a size to accommodate my darn tough socks, which is a wool blend, a little bit bigger. And I'm also using the heel lock to prevent my toes from crashing into the end of the toe of the boots. But the last time that I did this, like I said, I went around Ham and Cheese, went down and around the Hurley Gully, and all the way around, which I think I clocked it at being 5 miles, because I did some sections more than once, and it took me less than 2 hours to get all the way through it. So that's what I call this a conditioning hike. I'm getting off of here. So just went by a couple more hikers, stopped for a little bit, and then came upon this. This is called a mahogany bush. You can tell that from the color of the roots. They're very strong. Sometimes they're on an edge of a cliff where a trail might be. I've used them. Great root anchors. Didn't really want to have to use them, but I think kind of a area where the trail was kind of washed out. A gorgeous day up here. Like I said, lots of hikers have been up here. The parking lot was nearly full. But I was thinking about wearing my poofy, because when I first got up here it was a little bit chilly. Sun's out, we get to hiking. I didn't even leave the vehicle yet, and I already packed the poofy into my new Light AF pack, and we are right there already. So we have come all the way around and down to here in just a matter of minutes. So like I said, it's a pretty easy trail for me anyway, now that I've done it a number of times. We will be going up that way. I see some hikers up there now. it's just gorgeous up here. I still haven't figured out how to piece together several videos. I'm still learning my iPhone 12 Pro Max. So last weekend's numerous videos, I deleted what I didn't want to even use, but I still have yet to put them together. Okay, so you can see the white dots, and where they take you is straight up and through. So we will see how I can do this with only the trekking poles in the left hand. Pretty big steps for my little legs. Everybody says I do have longer legs, but for me, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Not as long as I would like, I think. Do some areas. Channel. And now up there. I usually like to do this going up more so than I do down. It's a little bit easier. So I got about 2/3 of the way up, and of course someone was coming down, so I had to stop, but made it successfully up. The other side of those rocks is the parking lot, so I've made it quite a way. That is Flagstaff up there, those peaks, seeing it from kind of a southwest, northeast facing. And turn myself around. We have the trail. In my viewing of my videos from last week that you haven't seen yet until I posted them, is I did point down to the ground quite a bit. So this one, I'm trying to pan up a little bit more. And here's the reason why it's called Granite Mountain, because there's a lot of granite. And what grows in granite are those crystals. Sometimes you'll see geodes, I believe. Alright, back off of here again. Real quick video, you can see where I'm at. Just about up to the top. When I get over to the other side, there's a bench to sit down. I'll get up there and then video some more. So right down there you can see the sign that I was just at. Came up through here. Right there is where I biffed it last year before I bought my murals. And the reason why I did, I originally had gone that way, which is easy to see many people do, but I think they just go out there for a view. Down there, just on the other side of that ridge of rocks, you can see the red roof, which is the outhouses, and then that bigger building with the red roof is the Flippin' Museum. And they did continue the trail down over by that new housing development right there. Did that for a little bit, but not very exciting. I guess if you lived in that housing development, it'd be a cool way to come up here. But here's the rocks.
So you buy his bottles and then you return the bottle to him.
Right there is where I'm going to be heading down. Okay, so that's the trail that I just came down. It does a hairpin or switchback, comes down over there, comes down, and off at the base of those rocks and in through those trees. But I just thought you might enjoy this beautiful scene. It's kind of like Ayers Rock, just pops up majestically in a really interesting hole up there that almost looks like a 4x4 could fit in there or something. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, sorry, I was trying to hold my walking sticks at the same time as doing that, so it probably is not a good idea to do that, but I'm heading down there now. So we will see what it's like as I come down. I haven't played around too much with my new iPhone 12 Pro Max. It does have the 3 different cameras. Not even sure if I've used all 3 of them or if there's a different setting that I need to use or what. Guess I need to do some YouTube searching on how to use it better before I get on the AT. And I would also like to get a lightweight, ultralight, collapsible tripod. I think that'll be helpful. I can keep it out at the end, kind of like a selfie stick, and then set it up, and you can see me from a distance setting up my tent or hiking. And that's what a lot of people do. They hike like that, and then they go back and they get their setup. So we'll see. Oh, that's one thing that I wanted to get, with a picture of a cairn. So as I drop my sticks, I'm gonna take a photo real quick. All right, so I'm down to the bottom. That is the cutoff that goes up to the top. Interesting rock bouncing right in there. So I don't know if that's where they get the name, the hole in the wall, or not. But last year about the time when I came through here, this was about, I don't know, 6 inches deep in snow. Sure isn't this year. It's a very dry winter this year. Anyway, I saw that cairn, and I wanted to take a picture of a cairn, although I wanted to wait until I got something that I ordered from my channel, Ewok in the Woods, which is a little Ewok on a keychain. I wanted to put it next to the cairn. I thought it would be interesting. But that was the first time I've seen the cairn on this Constellation Trail system of trails. So I'm not sure if something is new going on there where people are making it. One thing for everyone to know is you're really not supposed to make those, because that is for the people who keep the trails, to help people mark which way to go. And the way that they had it was right in the middle of a wall that has been created by people stacking rocks. And if you went over it, you'd probably land in a lot of bushes with about a 30-foot fall. So please do not make cairns. They are for the professionals and the trail maintainers to make, which is kind of why I am using it as my channel name, You Walk in the Woods Karen, because I want people to learn from my channel, and I am also an advocate of our forest systems and national parks. I want them to be there for many, many, many generations. So much of the gear that I found that has Ewoks on it also says protect our forests. So I am about ready to go right up through here, so I'm gonna put away my camera so I don't drop it. Okay, I just wanted to videotape this one. You can go down and around, or you can hug the ledge, which I find kind of interesting to do, but it is probably about a 3.5-foot drop over there if you would slip. But hugging the ledge is pretty neat. So I've been coming down quite a bit, and when I come down, I usually want to concentrate quite a bit, especially when there's loose rocks like that, which I just went through a whole ocean of loose rocks. And here's a whole bunch more. I can either take the high road and go through the mess, or take the high road. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes decisions are never best, but you live with what you get, right? And that one fared pretty well. So a good decision to take the high road on that one. This is only a hiking trail for people. There's no biking on this trail. No horses on this trail. Boy, there sure are a lot of people up here today. Gorgeous weather up in Prescott, Arizona. I would say it's probably about 55, 65, somewhere in that range, which is unbelievable for a January. Down in the valley it was supposed to be like 79 to 85, so it is quite a warm up for us. And cute little Christmas tree hiding inside that bush, and I believe that's a holly bush. There was another name for it that I remember seeing when I was at Walnut Canyon, and of course names I'm not very good with. If you had a number like R2D2 or C3PO, I'd probably remember. Anyway, I think it was some sort of holly bush or something like that. I remember I hiked the Yarnell Fire Hotshot Crew Memorial hike, which is 7.5 miles. Mine actually clocked at 8 because I kind of went off, took pictures and stuff. But there was a Boy Scout troop the first time that I hiked it, and they were going down to collect the holly. It was right before Christmas, and they were gonna sell it along with their Christmas trees. I thought that was interesting. I guess it was something that the ranch in the area lets the Boy Scouts do. But if you ever do want to do that hike, it is an awesome hike. I will try to see whether or not if I can take my pictures and put it together as another video and a memorial. See, now here's another wall that people have constructed out of rocks. Obviously that's not natural, and I don't believe it's the trail maintainers that are doing that, and it might be. It's gonna seem so different on the AT, where there is so much green and woods compared to all of this rock and openness. And we have one more sign so we can get an update of our progress, see where we're at, how much time that we have been on the trail. This is a junction spot. So this is where the PMBA trail comes out and hits the rock wall trail. And check my measurement here. I started when it was at 45. I'm measuring 192. And I started at about 10:49. So about an hour and 15 minutes to do pretty much an hour and a half. Isn't too bad, considering I've stopped and I've videoed and did a gear review of my backpack. And I've had to stop for many people hiking on the trails. But from here on out, it's down just a little bit further. And then it's pretty flat, and walking in this sandy stuff and the oasis of trees does come back. So as I was saying on the AT, it's going to be interesting walking in the woods with all of those trees when I have been so used to being out here in the open, on the rocks, blue skies, seeing for literally hundreds of miles. And then to go into the green tunnel. So I keep on hearing something in my backpack. I'm not really exactly sure what it is, but something's falling around or something. It always sounds like someone's right there behind me. So something to get used to, the noises of this new backpack. Shouldn't be too much rolling around in there. It's pretty well secured down. So, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, and I'm still playing around with, like I said, with the water reservoir, is what I have right now is a Grail bottle filtration system. I believe that's spelled Grayl. When I was looking up water bottles, after not finding anything at REI except for bottles but no filtration systems whatsoever because they were out of all filters, I Google searched online, saw Grail, saw how it was being used, thought, well, that's pretty easy, I could use that. I've used it a couple of times. Would like to be able to use that on the AT. Possibly fill into my 1 liter smart bottles. And possibly even into the water reservoir that I have that does hold up to 3 liters. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. It's nice to have the extra water. I am not sure how much I will cook. I do plan on making coffee, possibly oatmeal. And here's some more people. So as long as we stopped, I decided to go ahead and flip around my camera. Sorry about that. Decided to flip around my camera so you can see me for a minute. So, like I said, I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as my water system. Still playing around with the idea. Out here in Arizona, you need water. Number one, our temperatures are very hot. Number two, water is not very readily available, and if it is, it's a cow tank or something like that, and it is awful. If you want to see what some of them look like, I can probably post some of them if I haven't deleted them all from by the Arizona Trail. Or you can check out the people that I know who have hiked the Arizona Trail and gone by them And that would be somewhere on the trail. I believe his name is Paul, somewhere on the trail. He has seen many of them and skipped over many of them, and has been very blessed with trail angels that have left catches of water out here on the Arizona Trail. They do have several catches. I've seen one of those by the Blue Ridge campground. But water is a very needed resource. I would like to have the option of having coffee if I wanted, especially if it's cold, and having oatmeal if I want it with the protein in it, or maybe ramen noodles, although I'm not a big fan of that. Maybe some of those Mountain House meals. I do have some dehydrated vegetables as well as some fruit that can go, the fruit can go in my oatmeal. But I also like to have the luxury to have one jet boil, probably about a halfway full, with a washcloth sponge bath. Washing my face is just an awesome feeling while camping, and I would like to be able to have more water to be able to do that. I know it's kind of needless. Some people say I'm silly, but also with my ALS, that they're still not sure if I really have. The more water that I get into my system, the better. And let's see if I can flip. I don't know what that is, so I'll stop. Okay, and that's what I was flipping to. I don't know what the white button is. Maybe it's a camera, I don't know. So I can take camera in video, I don't know. But I just wanted to not be having it face me. Number one, in case I do bip it and I go down and you don't see me. But number two is that you can actually see what I'm encountering here. This is where the toes start going into the shoes when you do a lot of this type of rock. And I've done a lot of that here in Arizona. And that heel lock sure helps. So like I said, we're starting to get more down into the bottom. More greenery is coming. And I think on this one I will go up and over. And through this area here. And there's a lot of areas on the AT that go through little walls like this. I've seen Grinder and Slider from Campfire Confidential go through areas like that, and they call me Hickory. Hickory has gone through areas like that, so I can't be the only one that's amazed at what nature does. And having areas like that, and the trail goes right through it. But I'll be glad when I get there and be able to do my AT version of it. Get very excited about it. Work has been slowing down tremendously. They're not sure if they're gonna keep me for very much longer, which means I might move to a different job site. Try talking to HR about putting in my notice, and left a voicemail, which I have not received anything back on, so I'll have to try that again. And I'm packing up things that will be going into storage, packing up things with me that'll be going across country as I drive from Arizona to Maryland, and then other items that'll be, and they're mostly packed right now, for the AT in my new 40-meter light AF backpack. So the big thing is how much food am I going to need to bring until I get to the first nearest town. I did download the Gut Hook app. I thought the mileage thing would be a little bit easier to figure out on there. Not so much. Here's my two little sentinels, I call them. I know you're on the right trail. And so I'm thinking if I bring between 5 and 10 days for the first time out, see how many miles that I'm actually getting, see if I'm able to make it to the next town resupply area, and how much stuff that I actually have left, what worked, what didn't, if I see anybody on the trail, or even leave something as a trail angel for someone else. It wouldn't bother me. So we'll see just what I actually end up bringing. I'm also thinking about not only getting the Ewok stuff that's coming in the mail already, and the tripod that I already talked about, but I'm also thinking about a Marmot rain jacket. Right now I have a Frog Togs rain jacket and pant. It's not very sturdy. I'm not sure if it would hold up for repeated use. It's almost like something that you keep in your vehicle for just in case types of things. So I'm remembering seeing the pictures of several people summiting Katahdin in high wind and rain, and thinking that maybe that rain jacket might be awesome. I don't want to wait too long. If it doesn't take too long. Also, I'll probably need to get some new gloves. Ones that I have, I know are not very great. Little odds and end pieces like that. Still trying to figure out. So definitely gloves, a tripod, and probably the jacket. Not sure if I'll do that Sawyer or not. I'm pretty happy with my Rayo. I do have extra filters for the Grail. I'll leave them at my daughter's, and maybe she can mail them to me. I do have extra mailing boxes. So that's a possibility. Can't really remember. There's a couple more things on my list of items I was thinking about. So we'll see. So I'm almost down to the bottom, coming to the oasis area here. I'll cut for a minute and then finish up at the end. So another update on the home stretch, the ranch road shortcut. This is where the ham and cheese would come out. And I just passed two hikers, two guys. One that was barefoot. And I said, barefoot, huh? He goes, yeah, it's supposed to be really good for you. Good on your knees, good for your posture and your body. Well, you know, each to their own. He did stop and pick up his foot and brush off some of the sand before he got onto the rocks. So, I don't know. I don't really think I would want to do that. I think I'd be stopping way too much to wipe stuff off the bottom of my feet. And I'll stick to my Merrills. So we're going through here. Giant leap of faith. And this one's always kind of sketchy. I never know gotta put my foot that it doesn't twist it at a weird angle. I'm gonna take a couple of steps and my boots kind of reposition out. Back into the oasis. And this is where another trail goes. It goes across those rocks, which I always thought it was interesting that they have the sign there and not over here, because you could actually go around the rocks and go to the left side of that tree right there. And I've done that before. It's a lot easier. But I guess when you come back through, it's a little bit easier to go over the rocks. So I hear a dog. Not sure if it's on the trail or where. Not too much farther to go. It's a beautiful hike, beautiful day. I did find out 63 degrees here in Prescott in the winter, January 16th, 2021. Amazing. No wonder there's so many hikers out here. And isn't that blue sky gorgeous? Wow. Just unbelievably beautiful.